Hi, my name is Terry Lee from Sweet Pea Papers in the Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group, and this is my project called Floral Botanical, and it's my design team project for CollageType for September of 2022. Now, we did the flip through and of the kit, and then a little bit of an introduction to the project where I said I'm going to use a bunch of envelopes, but I don't know what I'm going to do. And then going on to deciding to do an envelope stack. And then we did this one envelope with the window in it. And a belly band on the back and a top pocket. Okay. So this one has to go on this side. We're going to use this as our back, but we're going to cut it to where it is 8.5 inches tall. And I believe that's going to take into account, I don't know if you can see it or not, but this curves down. And I really was going to cut just the flap off, and then I realized it was too tall for the paper. And then I also realized I really didn't want to cut this out. So we're going to whack the whole thing off. So let's do that first, and then we'll take a look and see how many of these envelopes we're going to actually use. I used gathered twigs to ink them, and I made sure that none of the white would show, so you can't tell that they're white envelopes. In the first video, I forgot to ink the paper, so we're not inking the papers. But I think that it looks fine, and I think the gathered twigs looks good. I thought it was going to be too dark, but now I don't think so. So let's set this envelope over here. We'll move these envelopes out of the way, and that'll be our stack. On the backs of some of the envelopes, how did I not ink that? Well, they're both going to be covered anyway, but it covers the edge. Can't believe I didn't ink that whole side. It's a little dark. Or the bottom. Guess I got in a hurry. Okay. Good thing I put my phone in the living room. There may be a very, very, very low hum. I have my fan on in the doorway, which is on the other side of the room because it's, I don't know, probably 82 degrees in here. It's a little warm, warmer than it is outside, actually. So what we're going to do is let's cut this off. Oh, what I was going to say is on the backs of some of the envelopes, we're going to have these plain papers, and I just got from the Amazon store today some, let's see if I have something darker, some flower stencils. Let me just do it like this. And I think these will come in handy. I think we'll be able to use these stencils maybe in a lighter color on the backs. Now, we're probably going to have to mask some of it off, obviously, to fit the width. But I'm thinking, they came with the ring, too, so that's kind of nice, and I haven't even numbered them yet. Anyway, just a thought for you, that something you can do on these, what can't even talk, what are originally the writing pages. They're going to be the backs of most of the envelopes. So on this one, we're going to cut it off right where that, I don't know what I'm doing, right where the bottom of this semicircle is. So we're going to cut the flap off and the top. You know, I should make a mark. Because it's going to cover it anyway, so there's a little bit of the And these aren't quite as wide as this. Oh, I know. I'll use one of the vertical pages and we can cut it however wide we want. We could cut that however tall we want as well because they're 11. I don't think I looked at the width. So there, now we've got that, and that gives us a pocket in the top, the very top. Okay, now we can ink that. It was kind of silly to ink it before we cut the top off. You can see how far in I'm inking. And I'm doing that by holding the dauber straight down instead of just doing the edges. Okay, so it doesn't really matter. I think I'm going to put the seam on the back, and we'll do this on the front. You do have to be careful. Any little flakes that come off of your dauber are going to leave little marks, so you're going to need to be careful with that. And this ink also sits on your surface, so you're going to have to be careful about wiping it off as you go so that you don't get ink on something you don't want. All right, so let's look at what we're going to do with our stack. Now, part of this is going to go on the back. So this big one is going on the back. And one of these I think the CD cover, I think we'll put the CD cover on the back as well. Because I was thinking about maybe not using it. But I think that'll be okay if we do it this way and put it in the back. All right, so we're going to put this one here. Okay, it's all right with me if it's a smidge taller. They're going to cover each other up. You're only going to notice that on the back side. This one I'm going to cut to be a side pocket. Now we're not going to necessarily close them in this order, but we do need to get them glued on. So we'll do that. Then I'm going to do one of these as a flap that way. Then this one will be on here this way. And this fatter one will go on the front. Okay, so that's basically what we're going to do. So let's open these up. I'm going to take this one out for now. And we're trying to not make it too thick on the back because we're going to put a paper back there. Okay, so let's open this one up. I'm going to have to put it on first. Go ahead and put glue on top of the sticky. Now remember, paper's going to go over the top of it, so I do want to be able to slide it around a bit. I'm going to put it right up to the edge here. We want to make sure that it closes flat. And it's lined up. Okay, now let's open it up And let's do the same on this side. Boy, my neighbor's dog. They had their little dog outside on a lead, and they just left it out there, and it was just barking its head off. And my neighbor upstairs, I went outside with Oz, and Oz barked just a little bit at that other dog, and then I made him stop right away because I stood out there with him. And all I could hear was the neighbor cursing. I mean, really loud. At the people with their dogs and such. And I know that he knew I was there. And my dog wasn't even barking. So I was a little upset over that. Oz is a good boy. He barks occasionally, and then you guys know I make him stop right away. Because I have consideration for other people. Dogs are going to bark. You know what I mean? They're just going to bark. They're dogs. It's what they do. So, yeah. I know he waited till I was outside because the neighbors were all the way across the, our buildings are like this, and all the sliding doors face each other. And, yeah. I want this in the center. Now, this one is going to go on this side, and we're going to take the tape off, and this one we especially want to cover this little sticky, because once it's stuck, it's stuck. So we want to cover it with the fabric tack so that we can still move it around. Otherwise, as soon as we touch it to the back, it's going to be stuck. So let's put this kind of movable glue on top of it. And you want to double check for glue seepage as well. Where do I want to put this one now that I've got it all glued up? I think I'm going to put it farther down. Now, the more you put on, the harder it is to get them to lie flat. So we're going to move this one out just a smidge. And then see. Okay, that's good. And then we're going to put this one on here, like this. And I think we'll put it up towards the top. And then this one will be here. Okay. And do I want it facing forward or backwards? I think backwards. So we're going to attach it to the front. Boy, it's warm in here. Okay. So we want to attach it to the front. Now, most of these are going to be side pockets or top pockets, and you don't have to worry about sealing the edge of the envelope because it's so close to here, and then we're going to put paper on it. I don't think I put that where I wanted it exactly, but it'll be all right. Almost looks like I painted it, doesn't it? Now, we're not going to do, shoot, is it this one? Well, oh, we have to put our tie on. I almost forgot. Before we put the back on, we have to put the tie on. This is Sari Silk, S-A-R-I. We're going to glue some to the back. We need to leave enough so that we can tie it. I'm going to leave a little bit more. We can always cut it off, but we can't add on. Okay, we want to put it in the center. But my voice is shaky. I think I'm a little more upset over the neighbor than I thought. Because I know he was directing his comments at me as if it was my dog barking. Now we want this to be flat as possible. I just realized we're putting paper back here. Maybe I should have used ribbon or irons. We have a great big, there we go, that's my white. Let me put you on pause for just 1 second. Okay, we got our ribbon. I found it. And so we're going to put the ribbon on. And we need enough to tie across the front again. Plus wrap around the back. So wrap it around the back. We're going to tie it on the front, remembering that this is going to be bulkier. And like I said, I'd rather have extra than not enough. And we're going to need 2. Had to pick this up where we left off. So I'm probably repeating a little bit of this. So now we're going to take one and glue it to one side and one and glue it to the other side, and this ribbon is flat, so we don't have to worry about it. So we're going to go approximately in the center. And we got it glued on. Then we'll go straight across. Glue it on this side. Don't put the glue all the way to the edge. You probably should put a little bit more than that. That's why we had that little bit of a jump. Okay, now we're not going to do this yet. We're going to put this on. We're going to cut it. So you won't see it on the ends as well. And then we're going to glue it like this to the bag. Okay, and it's the exact right height. And really, we don't need it to be that long. So let's cut that glue off. Now, yes, these are going to be in the way from now on, but we don't have a choice because we need to glue this on to, so we have to put the ribbons on now. Can't even get a hold of it. I'm going to cut my nails off. Okay. So now, take this, glue this side. Guess I didn't have to cut the glue off then, did I? Doesn't matter, we didn't need the flap that big. This is the next morning from when I put you on pause. So that's why there was a little bit of a jump. And since it's first thing in the morning, now why is that too tall? Because it's on there crooked. It still looks like it's a little tall. Because we cut a little extra off of there, I guess. So I'm going to take this back off. We'll wait for the glue to dry. I'm going to trim a little off the top. And then we'll glue it back together. All right. So we don't have to do the back right this second. In fact, we could do it quite a bit later. I just thought we'd have everything glued on. We can go ahead and do the CD actually. So these from Amazon are not quite the 5x5. So let's decide what picture we want to put on there. I think it would be better if we used one of the writing pages, since you're not going to see very much of it. Let's get one that's got a pattern close to the edge, so at least we'll see that. Yeah, I think that one looks like the most likely one. We're going to cut it to the height and the width. Leaving our little bit of a border. And then we can set it to the side until we put the back on. But we'll go ahead and get it covered. We're going to have to do the same for the back, but we'll do that when we get to it. In fact, we're just going to cover the front right now. That's all we have to do. Okay, looks like I'm going to have to ink some of this a little bit more. We're not going to have to worry about this being too dark because we're going to cut this little edge off. It's down a little far, isn't it? Let's go ahead and ink around the window. That way we'll have the little border all the way around on the window. Possibly because it's usually comes out a little bit smaller, but this way we'll know for sure. And my gathered twigs is new, so it's really got a lot of ink in it. And of course, since it's in the morning, my nose is running. You gotta love allergies until your medicine kicks in. Sorry about this. I thought I had it inked in far enough on all the pieces. Okay. So now on this side, we're going to take this, and remember, we're not inking anything. So, any of the papers anyway. So we're going to take our largest circle, which is this one. And we're going to use it with the big shot to do this. Oops. All I need to do is make an X. Then where the lines cross, that's going to be the center. Come on. Okay. So now when we put it in the big shot, we'll know the center, and then you can kind of lay it out where it needs to be. Some people will take washi tape and tape it down. But I kind of take my chances. Okay. Then that also gives us a circle that we can use somewhere else if we need to. Okay. And then this will fit right on here. Then all we have to do is cover the inside, make a card for it, and cut the edge. Now we can actually trim this down just a little bit, so when we trim the edge we don't lose the inked part. Would have been smarter, of course, to trim this first, but we only want a tiny little bit trimmed off. I'm going to trim a tiny bit off this. Then I think I am going to ink it just a little bit more to make it match the rest all the way around. Now we're not going to see this, but just like in the front, we want to make sure that there's ink all the way to the edge. I'm sorry I'm talking so quiet. I am recording this at 6 a.m. Okay, mark the top because this side is a little bit smaller. So we need to put it at the top. And line it up with our ink. Okay, so we've got that done. And now we have to put a piece of paper on the inside. And let's put a piece of this on the inside. That's to cover up that little hole in the back, and also to cover up the back that's white. Some people don't, but I like to. Now, we're not going to have to make it the full width, or you don't have to, but I don't want to take a chance on seeing any of it. You know, when you're looking in the edge. Since this is a collage piece, I'm not going to have to worry about which direction it goes. Okay. And I'm going to mark it here, then I'm going to cut it a little bit shorter. Because we don't need it to go all the way to the edge. And we don't need to ink it. So what we need to do is glue it. I think I'm gonna fill my glue before the next video. If I do it before the next video, then I won't have to mess with it. I realize it's fairly full, but I'm an impatient person. Okay, now you do have to be careful how far you push it, because we've left this top open and we don't want it to come out through the top. Okay. There we go. Now what I have to do is cover the back, which of course, is not going to fit with the scrap. It might. Yeah. Now this we will have to put the right side up. So we're going to put this on here like this. So we're going to mark this as the top. The writing on this is directional. Okay, we're not going to have to trim the width, only the length. A little bit of a tangle going on up there. Okay, let's double check the fit. I think we should ink this a little bit more. Oh, I know why that's not inking. Because of the plastic. And as you just saw, that was an example of making sure you get the ink wiped up. So there's the top. And we need to go this way. And it may look like I'm putting a lot of glue in the corners, but if you can hear the sound, I am dragging the tip along here. It's a little bit sideways. Okay. Okay. Put that along the edge. And that will cover the back. Now we can take some of this. And we can make a pocket. And then this will be how you do a CD cover. And then all we'll need is a card for inside, and then we'll need a card or a tag or something for this side. And of course, we're putting our fingers on the side we don't want to glue. You want to try to stay as close to the edge as you can. But of course you still put enough glue on there that it actually sticks. One of the benefits of actually gluing it. I'm going to make sure that our glue is in the right place. Text is right side up. I think I was inking the pockets so they didn't blend in. Across the top. Okay. So now all we have to do is find some cards for this. Man, I am not having a good day. Let's just make it a tuck. Because, let me think about this. We were going to trim this a little bit. See if that's far enough to make it the same height. And of course it looks like it's right below the ink mark. In fact, we can do it a little bit shorter if we like. Than the top, I mean. Yeah, that'll fit just fine. Re-glue it. Apparently this is the episode on how you fix your mistakes. These last two. I'm sorry for that. And once again, we're going to put it on this edge. Let's check. Then we're going to need to glue the bottom shut. Which of course would have been much easier had I done it beforehand. could have actually cut the top as well and made it into a flip out. And I will re-ink that off camera. And so that's going to be it for this video. And I will see you in the next video. And that will be just a second for you and a day for me. Okay? Alrighty. I'll see you then.